Thank you for that. I now recognize the gentleman from Massachusetts, Mr. Lynch, for 5 minutes.
Thank you. First of all, thank you to all the witnesses for your willingness to come forward and help the committee with its work. Mr. Schwartz, we just had, so since January of this year, when the Trump administration took over, we've had about 121,000 layoffs at DoD. Do we know how many of those employees came out of the Defense Acquisition Department?
I don't know estimates. I've heard of ultimate goals is something like 10,000, but that's only what I've heard.
Yeah. The deferred resignation program that was offered to DoD took out 21,000 of our employees who, to be eligible, you had to be 50 years old and you had to have 20 years of service. If you had 25 years of service, there was no age limit there, obviously. But that cohort, you know, first of all, 83% of these people have a bachelor's degree or greater. I'm just trying to figure what the impact of the layoffs and the so-called deferred resignation program had on the efficiency and the capabilities of the defense acquisition program in general.
Sure. So 2 comments. One is you mentioned 20 years and over 50, and I just realized how old I am because I fit into that.
Yeah, but that would be some of our most valuable and knowledgeable and capable employees, right?
So there are a lot of people that are very capable, absolutely. And I can't control what the size ultimately will be, but I do believe we absolutely can take steps now to ensure that we have the right workforce, and importantly, not just numbers, but the right skills and the right incentives for the people in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, because this is a long-term game.
Yeah. Do you have any, going back to the gentleman's earlier question, do you have any idea how many PLAs are actually in place? No. Anybody there? Yeah. My experience, and I'm a former union president and for the iron workers, and one of the complaints I have just generally with DoD contracts is a black box. Nobody knows how these contracts are being awarded. It seems like there's a propensity to award contracts to firms that have connections with former admirals or generals, and so they have an inside knowledge of the needs of DoD. They've got those relationships, and that's much more prevalent. That's involved in every single DoD contract, and there are very few product development programs or any contracts at DoD in acquisitions that have a PLA. They might do it to build a warehouse or something like that, but there's very few of those. I don't know of any that are in place right now in the entire United States. But those programs, a PLA would require that those individuals working on that program go through an apprenticeship program, that they're highly skilled. You know, I think electricians, it's a 5-year apprenticeship program. For plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters, 5-year program. So they make sure that these folks that are going on to DoD projects are actually highly skilled and able to perform the work at a level that is that meets the standard of the Defense Department. What do you think would be the most impactful change that we could make in this whole acquisition process in order to generate some of the savings that we talked that are there potentially that exist right now? I know we're talking huge numbers, but are there 1 or 2 things? I'm not asking for a silver bullet, but the most important changes that we can make to actually glean those savings that we desperately need.
Yes, invest in IT systems. And I'll just give 2 examples. And I think we talked about this last time. DoD does not have a world-class defense travel system, right? There's the defense travel system. You could actually go onto YouTube and you will hear rants by uniformed personnel about their travel system. You could actually see it. It's interesting. So DoD tried to put in a new system because DTS had about $1 billion of improper payments, right? Well, we don't know what happened. So they had a system. They did a successful other transaction and a successful prototype, and they could not implement it. A commercial system that is used ubiquitously around the world by Fortune 500 companies, they could not implement it. It wasn't a problem with the system, it was a problem with DoD. That cost money. Yeah. We can save money on travel, we can save money on logistics, we can save money on maintenance. We're buying more planes because we have readiness rates which are so low, we don't have enough to fight with. We could save a lot of money. It's like investing in college if we did the IT systems right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your indulgence. Thank you.
Yes, sir.